So that is what. So in the states of matter we were studying the three different phase system. One is a solid, second one is a liquid, and third one is gas. So the basically when we are classifying this matter, or when we are classifying the phase of any substance, it is categorized under two system. One is physical and second one is a chemical classification. As far as physical classification concerned, physical classification in the sense it's a physical or appearance. Are you understood? So physical and appearance in the sense, as far as its appearance, how it looks, accordingly the phase is divided. As I told you, simple example, like water, when it is in solid form it will be known as ice. When it is in liquid form it is known as water, and when it is form in a gaseous form it is known as vapors. Also this is the general phase system or existence of water in different three phase, or existence what uh, water as a matter. Understood? So solid, liquid and gas, and apart from that one more category is there, that is plasma. But theoretically when we are speaking solid, liquid, gas, only the specific category we can divide any substance in a phase form. So yeah, so they have given example a tablet capsule which is a solid dosage form, you are well aware about. Then a liquid which is like syrup, suspensions and all. Rather aerosols or sprays what we are using in our daily routine life, that is physical appearance in form of gas. And one is a plasma which is additionally they added, and it's not having more application, but even though since we are studying pharmaceutical point of view, plasma also is considered as a phase of a particular substances in as a matter. Now then chemical classification, if we will see, chemical classification is nothing but it is like the substance, either it will be in pure form or it is in impure form. So like we don't know the particular water, is it pure or it is impure. Impure means what will be there in water impurity, it is nothing but ionic form or salt form. So the basically water, if we are not using any kind of salt, or it is totally devoid of all kind of ionic forms, then it is known as a pure substances, or which is like a pure natural compound or element. And when it is in mixture form, it is known as a homogeneous or heterogeneous mixture. Why it is homogeneous or heterogeneous? Because we don't know whether that particular substance is fully solubilized or not solubilized. So accordingly it is a homogeneous or heterogeneous type of mixture. So it is a chemical type of classification of any substance or matter when we are considering it different phase. So these things we seen. Next we seen that generally in this topic what we are going to study is the state of matter, nothing but phase which is appeared for particular substances. Then of course it is not alone. So whenever we are talking about any substances, it will be related with its a different form or changing in a different form. Are you understood? So this kind of changes how and what manner it is happening, or what are the related substances are there, like latent heat, vapor pressure, sublimation, critical point, eutetic mixture and all. So these are all associated with the different changes of phase. So it's nothing but the phase transition process. So solid is getting converted into liquid and liquid is getting converted into gas, and sometimes this middle phase will not be exist in case of some substance. Rather substances, some substances from solid phase it directly getting converted into vaporized form or in gaseous form, which we are calling as a sublimation. And some substances are there which are known as eutetic mixtures. So those substances when they are combined together, what it will do, they will immediately converted into liquid form. So solid substances will be converted immediately into liquid form. Those are called as eutetic mixture. So if you will see like menthol substance, if you have seen, menthol will be basically in solid form, but if it is combined with some another agent, immediately it will be converted into liquid form. Have you understood? So this is what the eutetic mixture example. Then gas, in gas phase, what actually we are studying is different gases nature how the nature of gas exists. Then example, pharmaceutical application like aerosols, inhalers, some asthmatic patient and all, they are using some inhalers and all. And of course there is a use of some gaseous form and substances, the medicament or solid medicaments, we are making it to convert into particular gaseous form. So those things also considered here. And third one is a relative humidity. So what is the relative humidity and how it will affect the gas, that also part of a discussion in this case. Liquid substances, if we will consider, liquid will have tendency to generate some complexes. Liquid crystals also will exist, like phenol and all, I have given example. And glossy state, some substances will be appeared in a glossy states, though they are in liquid form. So that thing also we need to consider in liquid substances. And solid, which is very frequently available in this nature, that is a crystalline type of substances, I mean solid substances, amorphous type of substance. And polymorphism, I think you are knowing about polymorphism. Polymorphism is nothing but existence of one substance in different form. Have you understood? So like I given you example like sucrose. If sucrose literally we are saying it is a sugar, but if we will try to select its isomers, it will be dextrorotatory and a levorotatory based on its optical rotation. So the isomer which is having ability to rotate plane of plane polarized light, either at a dextro or at a levo position, accordingly isomers are getting changed. In this case, if we will see visually or by naked eyes, we can't able to differentiate those isomers. Rather we can say, yeah, it's looking simply it's glucose only, or it is like sucrose only. But the more specifically, if we will see what is a sucrose or what is a glucose, that glucose is nothing but a dextrorotatory sugar or dextrorotatory sucrose. So that is what that glucon D and all they are saying, this is a dextrorotatory type of glucose, which is having a more more solubility. And as far as their pharmaceutical action concerned, that will be showing a little bit immediate action compared to levorotatory. So that is one polymorphism. And even if you will see coca butter will be appeared in form of alpha, beta and gamma. So these three uh, like isomeric forms are available in case of coca butter. So that is one kind of a polymorphism in case of solid, though it is a coca butter. If you will see, you can't able to differentiate alpha, beta and gamma. It is like you will see, yeah, it's like a coca butter only. But when we are talking actually the polymorphic form, it is available in alpha, beta and gamma, like this three isomeric form. Then state of matter, I told you we can divide or basically we can divide into physical and chemical type of classification. Matter is a substance which occupies in space, so of course it will utilize some space and possess a rest mass, especially as a distinct from energy. And matter can be classified into physical, chemical. General classification also is possible. uh, Rather physical classification, you came to know solid, liquid, gas and plasma. Chemical classification like pure and impure, we can say mixture. Then third one is general type of classification. General classification, we are not going much detail. So now you understood what is matter. So matter is nothing but a particular substance in a specific phase form. Okay, so solid, liquid, gas and plasma, now that only we are going to concentrate. Now if you will see here solid in figure, if you are seeing solid, you can see the intermolecular forces, how it is intact, making bind particular atoms which are present in a specific molecule, how it is tightly bound with each other. So strong bonds. So it means what, the whatever the atoms are there in that particular molecule. Say example, water itself we will take, the water when it is in ice form, the ionic bonding will be in a such a way that the atomic bonding will be in a such a way that, and such a tight that it will not getting separated that much easily. But here one more thing is there. When I'm talking about intermolecular forces, that is very tight in case of solid. But if I'm providing energy, or I am providing the heat, or I am providing the temperature, what will happen? The intermolecular forces will try to dissociate, or it will be getting loosened, or it will be getting weakened. That will be getting weakened. happen? So because of that, what will happen? You can see here weak bonding. So atomic bonding or interatomic bonding will be getting loosened or it will be getting weakened. So that is what happening in case of liquids. Rather gas, still I am going to keep on adding temperature or keep on heating temperature. What will happen? It will be converted to gaseous form. So here the intermolecular or interatomic bonds or force will not be existed, or rather we can say there is a no any kind of what we can say, it's not depending on each other. The atoms are not dependent on, they are free to roam anywhere, or in this space they can move anywhere. So this is what the gas. So ice, liquid and a vapor, this is a simple example where intermolecular forces are getting weakened and because of temperature. So this is the one thing we understood. Then next one is yeah, so other than this, we understood plasma also. In that plasma some ionic compounds will be there, and that ionic compounds, since it is like positive and negative ions, and because of that temperature, that also will be getting separated, and because of that it will be losing its the actual covalency. Understood? So say like Na plus and Cl minus. So that is like monovalent type of ions, Na plus and Cl minus. But see, if I am providing some kind of energy, not only the actual heat, it will be in any form of heat, even light if I am applying, or any kind of another form of energy I am applying, so that Na plus and Cl minus will be getting break with. I am giving one example. It's not like usually, because it is univalent or monovalent, that much easily we can't separate the sodium and chloride from salt. But just I am giving example. So in this case, what will happen? The ionic form will be getting separated, and it will be moving freely towards the space. It's something like liquid only, but it's not liquid. And apart from that, one more phase they have introduced, that is mesophase, and it is between liquid and crystalline stage, or between solid and liquid stage. So that is one more phase they have given. Just for your multiple questions and all, it will be useful. You no need to go more detailed in this thing, but just remember solid, liquid and gas, and intermolecular forces and temperature is very very important to getting change one phase into another phase. Yeah, apart from that, they are saying, excuse me, बोला की सर? हा सर, लेक्चर आहे, मी 3 वाजेपर्यंत, 3च्या नंतर येऊ का? हा, येस. Yeah, so I was saying that state of matter or a particular substance, it may exist other than these three phases. There will be about 12 states of matter, as we discussed in yesterday, and that also you no need to go in more details on that. Just glance it. So solid, liquid, gas, plasma, superfluid, super solid, Bose-Einstein condensate, fermionic condensate, string net, supercritical fluid, colloid, degenerate matter. So these are the different type of matter. In this, as far as pharmaceutical concern, if you will see, colloid is nothing but a kind of substance which is, I will give you example like suspension and emulsion. Understood? So colloid is example is suspension emulsion, that also termed as a kind of matter or substance of matter. So likewise they have divided the substances. Then yeah, changes in the state of matter. So I told you the substances which are or the phases of a particular substances are interconvertible to each other, and this is a reversible type of process. So solid can be converted into liquid, and liquid can be converted into gas, I mean vapor, and gas can be converted into plasma by a different kind of mechanism. So what are the mechanism associated here? Like solid, when we are converted into liquid, so it is like a melting process. So we know we are melting ice, because of that ice is getting converted into water, and it is a reversible process. At the same time, if we are removing that heat, or we are cooling, or we are freezing the particular water, that will be converted again into solid form. So again, solid to liquid and liquid to solid. This is like a process, interconvertible process or phase transition process. Transition in the sense change, phase which is getting changed into another phase, that is called as a transition process. So that's why I'm saying phase transition from one to another. Then same time liquid to gas, which is we can say vaporization process. Rather gas when we are converted into liquid, जसं वेपर्स जे आहेत त्याला आपण कूल केलं, that is what we are doing is we are condensing the gas. So because of condensation, what will happen, gas will be again converted into a liquid. So it is also kind of a reversible process. And then gas can be converted into plasma. So what is the process actually? This is ionization. So ultimately plasma will be combination of different ions. So when in gas we are applying some ionic form of substances, what will happen, that the gas will be converted into plasma. And plasma, if we are doing a recombination, or we are removing that ionic process, and it will be converted into again in gaseous form. So gas when it is composed with ions, that is called as a plasma. So this is one structure, this is one phase which is like interconvertible gas to plasma and plasma to gas. Yeah, then change in the state of matter. Now you understood there is something which we are talking about, a phase change of phase, that is a phase transition, and it is dependent on the particular temperature, which is making loosen the intermolecular forces, and because of that only phase transition is getting happen. So overall here what we are discussing is the enthalpy and entropy, which increases the material go from solid to liquid and liquid to gas. So ultimately we need to consider here the temperature involvement, which is converting different phases or phase transition process. Then balance of enthalpy, entropy and temperature determines the spontaneous process changes. So of course, so at what level you are applying enthalpy, temperature, entropy, removing temperature, the overall temperature, that will determine the actual spontaneous process change. So it is like a monitoring process. You can stop the process at any time. That's why they are saying it is a spontaneous process, and you can stop whenever you want a particular substance in a specific phase. Latent heat in change of state, heat of fusion and heat of evaporation. So latent heat in change of state. So I said some substance will be having their own energy or their own heat. So that is called as the latent heat, and it is in change of state. That also will be responsible for one form of state to another. So some substances you can say like hygroscopic in nature. So substances, if you will keep as it is in one petri plate or porcelain dish, what will happen, the because of surrounding moisture, it will try to absorb that surrounding moisture. So that is having its own capability, understood. Something like calcium hydroxide substance, and that will be having its, that is because of its own latent heat. And some substances because of surrounding I mean because of the surrounding condition, its own heat will be converted from one phase to another, and it will be like from solid to liquid, it will get converted, or it will be forming some droplets. Have you understood? So that is because of latent heat. Apart from this, heat of fusion also there. Heat of fusion is a specific heat or a temperature which we are applying by means of temperature only, or by applying the actual energy to convert into fused form. Substances we are literally converting into fused form, or we are melting it. And heat of vaporization, of course, some substances like camphor and all, if we will heat, what will happen, it directly will move into evaporating stage or vaporization form. So this is the heat of vaporization. So again we discuss these parameters, I mean different concept like freezing, melting. I'm not going more detail in that, but whenever you will start this definition, what will be the thing is that first you need to start with the phase transition process. So freezing is nothing but a phase transition, melting also a phase transition process, deposition also a phase transition process, sublimation also a phase transition process. So whenever you will be asked with questions, this kind of question, first word should come. This is the sublimation. Say sublimation, they have asked. Sublimation is a phase or transition process from solid to gas. Like that you have to answer. It's not like a sublimation is a solid to gas conversion. It should not be like this. Because we are talking about the phase, state of phase, or state of particular matter. So that's why we should be very specific with that particular phase and its transition. So I'm not going more detail. You understood this concept. What is melting, what is freezing, deposition, sublimation, vaporization, and condensation. In this deposition only a bit somewhat like confusing type. Deposition is basically thermodynamic process, and this is also phase transition in which gas transfer into solid without passing into liquid. So some substances we are applying some condition so that gas will be converted into solid. It will not go to convert into liquid space. So some things are there, or some substances are there from solid, I mean gas to solid conversion is possible. That is called as deposition. Sublimation, you know, vaporization, and condensation. Condensation is nothing but a cooling process so that the liquid will be converted into, vapors will be converted into liquid form. Yeah, now latent heat. So we are coming towards the specific concept or specific definition. Latent heat, this is the energy absorbed or released by a substance during change in its physical state that occurs without changing its temperature. See, I told you each substance is having its own temperature and it will respond with the surrounding temperature. That's why I said you example hygroscopic substances. कॅल्शियम हायड्रॉक्साईड काय होते, कॅल्शियम हायड्रॉक्साईड तसं जर ओपन ठेवलं तर काय होते, surrounding atmosphere it will be catching and it will form as a solid form. Cement, what happening because of that cement powder, surrounding atmosphere's moisture or some condensation, condensate will be getting captured and it will be converted to solid form. So that is what it is corresponding to the latent heat. The substance will be having its own heat and it is responding to the surrounding heat, and that's why it is changing its phase or phase transition occurs. So latent heat is the energy absorbed or released by a substance during a change in its physical state that occurs without changing its own temperature. So nothing to do with its own temperature, but it is responding to the surrounding environment temperature. Then latent heat with melting a solid or freezing a liquid, which is called as heat of fusion. That is associated with vaporizing the liquid or solid, or condensing a vapor, which is called as heat of vaporization. So definition by name itself indicating that heat of vaporization, we are applying energy, the latent heat which is required for converting into vaporized form. So solid or a liquid, vapors, how we are converting we don't know. Liquid will be converted into vapor and solid also can be converted into vapor, like camphor, isn't it? So it is nothing but, it is nothing to do with the solid or liquid, but both substances can be converted into vaporized form by latent heat concept. Then latent heat, which is normally expressed in terms of joules or calorie. So these are the unit, joules and calories are per mole unit mass of substance undergoing change of. So energy, you know very well, energy is calculated in form of joules or calories. The same unit we are applying for the latent heat as well. And example of latent heat of fusion, latent heat of evaporation involved in different phase changes, that substance is getting condensing or vaporizing at a specific temperature and pressure. Yes. Friends, am I audible to you people or not?
Yes, audible.
Because here internet fluctuation is going on. So if it is happening, just drop me message in this chat box. If you are unable to hear or you are unable to see this PPT, so that I can go for next. Okay, so next one is vapor pressure. So vapor pressure of liquid is a equilibrium pressure of a vapor above its liquid or solid, that is pressure, that is the pressure of vapor resulting from evaporation of liquid above sample of liquid. See here, one thing is there, vapor pressure. So vapor pressure in the sense, it is a pressure, basically it is a pressure, but that pressure which is required to convert into vapor. Any concept, whenever they will give, first you read what this is, vapor pressure. So this is the pressure but the pressure, what kind of pressure it is, it required to convert into vaporized form. So vaporized form, how it will be getting converted, either solid or liquid because of heat. But same time I said you, whenever temperature is there, one concurrent term is there, that is pressure. So pressure also need to be matter when we are talking about latent heat. That is nothing but the temperature, but at the same time we should consider the vapor pressure, because pressure also one thing which will monitor during conversion, phase conversion process or phase transition process. So for each substance or each substance, it will be having its own vapor pressure. As I told you, latent heat, that is corresponding to its own heat. सबस्टन्स कुठल्याही सबस्टन्स स्वतःची जी काही एनर्जी असेल, आता माझे स्वतःचं काय टेम्परेचर आहे 37 डिग्री आहे, मला ताप नाही आहे, मला ताप असेल तर मी 40 डिग्री, दॅट इज माय लेटंट हीट. Likewise, each substance will be having its own latent heat. What temperature it will be according to the particular substance. But vapor pressure, same time, each substance will be existing with a specific vapor pressure, and that vapor pressure only will be monitored during the phase transition process, or it will be important during phase changing process. So some substances they have given example like diethyl ether, bromine, ethyl alcohol, and water. It's corresponding vapor pressure at a specific degree, because whatever reaction we are making it to do, not in India, but in European countries and all, they are doing in 25 degree. But rather, we can't do in 25. आपल्याकडे 25 degree temperature असायला पाहिजे असं काही नाही. 30-35 पण असू शकते. So it will be some minute change will happen, but generally if we see NTP, normal temperature and pressure, 25 degree only they are considered in physical pharmacy. So accordingly they have given the vapor pressure. So if you will see vapor pressure change according to temperature, how it will be going. So it is like initially, if you will see this graph, initially it is a flat line. So vapor pressure is getting maintained throughout the temperature, generally up to 50 degree. For normal substances, it will be go on increasing, and once it will attain a 50 degree, it will increase in a like linear manner. It will start to increase in a linear manner, and at a certain point it will be getting stopped. So keep on increasing the temperature, it ultimately what it will happen is vapor pressure also will be getting increased in case of any specific substances. So please try to understand this graph. Vapor pressure and temperature relation is like initially flat. It will be responding. It will respond with the temperature, but very steadily, slowly, and then linearly it will be increasing. So this is the vapor pressure condition of substance. Latent heat, vapor pressure. These two things just try to understand for a specific substance. Then as the temperature of liquid or solid increases, its vapor pressure also increases. So this is what we saw in graph. कुठल्याही सबस्टन्स जर टेम्परेचर वाढवत असाल आपण, तर त्याचं स्वतःच वेपर प्रेशर पण वाढत राहणार, बरोबर आहे का. जसं से लाईक बलून, बलून मध्ये काय एनर्जी आपण अप्लाय करतो, पण जर बलूनला जर हीट प्रोव्हाइड केलं, हीट प्रोव्हाइड केलं तर तो ब्लस्टच होणार, isn't it? But if you are taking it in hot environment also, what will happen? Inside energy will try to release itself, and again that balloon will be getting burst. So what happening? Temperature you are increasing means ultimately vapor pressure also getting increased. Simple example I told you. So any substances its own temperature, when we are increasing its temperature, so it will be ultimately vapor pressure also getting increased. Conversely, vapor pressure decreases as the temperature decreases. So it's it is shown in graph only. So we are decreasing, say we are decreasing किंवा टेम्परेचर जर आपण कमी कमी करत गेलो तर ते बलून जे काय आहे तो पण कंस्ट्रिक्ट होत जाणार. अंडरस्टूड. सो इट विल बी गेटिंग कंस्ट्रिक्ट. सो दिस इज द वेपर प्रेशर कंडिशन बेस्ड ऑन temperature. Now what are the factors that affect vapor pressure? As I told you, surface area which will affect the vapor pressure. So of course surface area, जर समजा surface area जर जास्त असेल तर rate of evaporation also will be almost it is equal to rate of condensation. So in that case what will happen, it is like when vapor pressure we are talking as far as the surface area concerned, that also will be ultimately increased. But since the scaling factor is the same, vapor pressure is independent of surface area. Sometime what will happen, some scaling will be there, and because of that time some limitation will come, and vapor pressure will be different in case of that particular surface area. म्हणजे असं समजा की एक बलून आहे आणि बलून मध्ये मी पार्टिशन केलेलं आहे. बलून मध्ये बलून पण आजकाल बघितले असतील तुम्ही, तर तुम्ही एका साईडला जर प्रेशर अप्लाय केला तर ते बाकीचे जे दोन कंपार्टमेंट असतील त्या बलूनचे, दॅट विल नॉट गेट ब्रोक or that will not get burst. One compartment only will be getting affected. So it is totally based on a surface area, and at initial condition, if we are not making partition, but they are saying since scaling factor is the same, we are applying the scaling factor, it will be independent of surface area. Then second one is types of molecule. What it is said is the types of molecule that make up solid or liquid determine its vapor pressure. So yeah, we know the substance will be in solid or it will be in liquid form. मग त्यामध्ये intermolecular forces solid मध्ये strong असतील, liquid मध्ये weak किंवा थोडे लूज असतील. सो इन दॅट केस ऑल्सो वेपर प्रेशर विल बी गेटिंग अफेक्टेड. जर समजा सॉलिड असेल तर त्याला वेपर प्रेशर जास्त लागणार, लिक्विड असेल तर त्याला कमी लागणार. सो दॅट्स व्हॉट रिलेटिव्हली स्ट्रॉंग वेपर प्रेशर विल बी रिलेटिव्हली लो अँड रिलेटिव्हली the vapor pressure is relatively high. So it depends solid or liquid. Liquid मध्ये त्याला काय जास्त हे लागणार नाही and ultimately vapor pressure will be less compared to solid. Then temperature. At high temperature, more molecules have enough energy to escape from liquid or solid. At a lower temperature, fewer molecules have sufficient energy to escape from liquid to solid. So likewise, temperature also one important parameter for which will affect the vapor pressure of substance. So this is what we have seen in graph also. Intermolecular forces. So intermolecular forces always will matter. Substance, solid substances मध्ये असेल, लिक्विड सबस्टन्सेस मध्ये असेल, अँड व्हेन इट विल बी इन गॅसियस फॉर्म. तर गॅसियस फॉर्म मध्ये तर वेपर प्रेशरचा प्रश्नच येत नाही. का बरं? तर ते ऑलरेडी गॅस फॉर्म मध्ये आहे. तुम्ही त्याला काय अप्लाय करणार आहे प्रेशर? त्याचा स्वतःचाच एक प्रेशर तो कोरिलेट करून घेतलेला असेल सराउंडिंग एन्व्हायरमेंट मध्ये, बरोबर आहे का? से लाईक बलून मध्ये एक एनर्जी आहे आणि बाहेरची जी एनर्जी आहे, बाहेरची एनर्जी जर खूप कूल असेल आणि बलून मध्ये असलेली एनर्जी जर हॉट असेल तर काय करेल? तो कन्स्ट्रिक्ट करून घेईल स्वतःला. That balloon will try to constrict itself. But what will happen? The balloon मध्ये एक एनर्जी आहे, that is vapor pressure आहे, that is in form of one pressure, and outside जर जे काही temperature असेल that will be hot. So what will happen? It will be getting burst. So in this case, what is happening when we are talking about intermolecular forces? At the same time, it will be considered as an intermolecular forces. Gas जे काही intermolecular forces आहे तो it will be nothing or it will be totally nullified. But in case of solid and liquid, it will matter, because if solid will be there, intermolecular forces will be more, and liquid will be bit less, and accordingly vapor pressure also will be more and less. For solid condition, ultimately vapor pressure will be more, rather in case of liquid it will be bit less. So submission critical point. I told you this graph, you need to remember pressure and temperature. See, initial graph was vapor pressure and temperature, but this graph is pressure and temperature. Try to understand the concept. Vapor pressure graph towards the temperature was like steady and linear curve was there. But here what you are going to see is pressure and temperature. It's not the vapor pressure, because that substance pressure not, it will be any pressure, surrounding pressure also would be there. And this is like line type of y graph. Y type of graph, you remember, you have to draw like y type of figure, pressure and temperature, and it is like first compartment is contributed by solid, second one is a liquid, and third one, which is wide compartment, based on that particular gaseous form or vaporized form. Again, their interconversion they are showing, solid to liquid, liquid to gas, and gas to solid. But when we are talking about submission critical point, sublimation means what? It is a like solid to evaporating stage or gaseous stage, solid to gas. When we are talking, then only sublimation will come. And deposition, it is opposite term to the sublimation. Gas will be converted into solid without any liquid phase, intermediate liquid phase. So in this case, you can see the middle point or a dot point. This is a sharp point which is called as sublimation critical point, and that will be applicable for all solid, liquid, and gas. But thing is that since solid and gas we are discussing, it is known as a sublimation critical point for a particular substances when it is converted into solid to gas. The temperature at which the I mean, sublimation is a change of state from solid to gas without passing through the liquid state. And carbon dioxide is an example of material that easily undergoes a sublimation. So they have given example. Carbon dioxide can be make into solid form also. So carbon dioxide we can deposit also. Dry burf जर ऐकला असाल तुम्ही, dry burf is nothing but the carbon dioxide which is in solid form. Okay, and same time carbon dioxide can be converted into gas and by applying the heat. The temperature at which a vapor pressure of solid phase of a compound is equal to total pressure of gas phase in contact with it, analogous to boiling point of a liquid. So that is what substances, any substances, vapor pressure of its own of that particular solid substances when it is equal to the total pressure of gas, and it is almost equal to boiling point, because that only will be making that substance to go into gaseous form. So it is almost equal to the boiling point of a specific liquid. म्हणजे असं समजा की सबस्टन्स, सॉलिड सबस्टन्सेस गॅस फॉर्म मध्ये कन्वर्ट होण्यासाठी जे काही वेपर प्रेशर लागणार आहे, or what vapor pressure it is required, it is almost analogous to the temperature of boiling point. I am considering vapor pressure and temperature. Again, I am saying vapor pressure which is applied or which is required to convert into solid to gas, ultimately it will be analogous to the boiling point of the substances. So ultimately we are thinking the solid and gas and the related vapor pressure and temperature. So phase rule, yeah, that is what we stopped yesterday in this up to this. Phase rule is a rule relating to the possible number of phases, constituent, and degree of freedom in a chemical system. And this rule was proposed by James Willard Gibbs in almost 18 to 76. So here phase rule is what the particular substances like will be having specific phases like solids, liquid and gas, and how it is established itself, why it is like y-shaped curve only, and that will be having a particular contribution and based on specific rule, and that rule only known as phase rule. The space can be defined as an homogeneous part of a system having all the physical and chemical properties. The properties are identical throughout. A system may consist of one phase or more than one phase. So that is what a substance, कुठल्याही substance त्याचे स्वतःचे काहीतरी property असतील, and it will be divided into different phase, solid, liquid, gas. But some substances solid, gas, and some substances will be liquid gas. It will not be in a solid form. Understood? So likewise, a phase rule they have established. A system only containing liquid water in a single phase system, it is P is equal to 1. So liquid contributed as a P is equal to 1. A system containing liquid water and gas. See, in initial condition only liquid they are considering, liquid. In second case, liquid and gas, when they are considering, that phase is occupied as a P is equal to 2. So we are talking about the graph, that is y-shaped graph. What I am saying, that thing only we are discussing. And third one is a system containing liquid, water, steam and ice. So in this case, three phases we are considering, and accordingly we can say is three phase or three phase system. So in initially, if we will see a liquid, if we will consider a P is equal to 1, and a system when we are considering liquid and gas, that is known as a P is equal to 2. So by considering these three factors, they have developed a phase rule. P plus F is equal to C plus 2. Now what is this P plus F is equal to C plus 2? P is equal to number of phases that can coexist. F is equal to number of component making up the phases, and F is equal to number of independent variables, degrees of freedom. So second one is a C, it's not F. C is equal to number of component, and third one is F is equal to number of independent variable or degree of freedom. Just second one is not F, but it is C. So accordingly, they have developed a phase rule P plus F is equal to C plus 2. And by that, we can understand in what phase a particular substance is, and how much that in that graph it is occupying this space, particular phase, at what extent it is occupied. That can be calculated by this phase rule. P plus F is equal to C plus 2. Now we are talking about eutectic mixture. So eutectic mixture, which is defined as a mixture of two or more component which is usually do not interact to form a new chemical compound, but which at a certain ratio inhibit crystallization process of one another, resulting in a system having lowering melting point than either of substances or either of component. असं समजा की दोन सबस्टन्सेस आहेत वेगवेगळे, जेव्हा ते वेगवेगळे असतील दॅट विल बी लाईक इट इज एक्झिस्टिंग इन अ स्पेसिफिक फॉर्म और इट इज एक्झिस्टिंग इन अ सॉलिड फॉर्म, बट दोन्ही सबस्टन्सेस जर मी कंबाईन केले, what will happen, it is happening as a lowering of its melting point. जे काही त्याचा मेल्टिंग पॉइंट, इथं पण लेटंट हीट कन्सेप्ट शुड बी कन्सिडर्ड. त्या सबस्टन्सचा, the दोन substance काहीतरी latent heat असेल, and when I am combining these two substances, what will happen, it is ultimately decreasing, or its melting point will be getting decreased or lowered. So because of that, what will happen, that substances will be converted into liquid form. Two or more substances when combined with each other, what will happen, it is lowered, it is resulted into lowering of specific substances melting point, and that is known as eutectic mixture. Eutectic mixture एक स्वतःच application आहे pharmaceuticals मध्ये. So eutectic mixture, when it is even example, if you will see shaving cream मध्ये काय असते, menthol असते, but menthol is added with some substances during that shave lotion मध्ये, तर काय होतं की ते that will be forming as a eutectic mixture, and that menthol will be converted as a liquid form, and it will be uniformly dissolved with a different component which is added in this shaving cream formulation. So likewise, a eutectic mixture can be formed between active pharmaceutical ingredient, between API and excipient. तेच मी तुम्हाला एक्झाम्पल सांगितलं, शेविंग क्रीम किंवा शेविंग लोशन मध्ये जे काय मेंथॉल असते त्यामध्ये ऍडिटिव्ह कुठला तरी ऍड केला जातो, अँड अल्टिमेटली व्हॉट विल हॅपन, इट विल लोअर द टेम्परेचर ऑफ मेंथॉल जनरली बघायला गेलं तर तो सॉलिड फॉर्म मध्येच असतो, पण त्याच्याबरोबर काहीतरी ऍड केलं तर ते लिक्विड फॉर्म मध्ये कन्वर्ट होते, अँड इट विल बी नोन एज eutectic mixture. Eutectic mixture formation is usually governed by following factors. The component must be miscible in liquid state and mostly immiscible in solid state. म्हणजे जनरली बघायला गेलं तर सॉलिड त्यांचं बिहेवियर मिसिबली नसते. असं समजा की NaCl आणि मेन्थॉल हे कधीच मिक्स होणार नाही सॉलिड कंडिशन मध्ये, बट when it is combined with each other, menthol आणि NaCl जर मिक्स केलं तर what will happen, it will be ultimately decreasing the temperature. Menthol will be converted into liquid form, and NaCl will get dissolved in that menthol. So likewise thing may happen. Intimate contact between eutectic forming materials, which is necessary for contact inducing melting point depression. That is the lower point, lowering the melting point or lowering the melting temperature. The component should have chemical groups that can interact to form physical bond, such as intermolecular hydrogen bonding and all. So of course there should be interaction between these intermolecular forces, hydrogen bonding and like van der Waals forces and all. The molecule which are in accordance with modified van der Waals equation can form eutectic mixture. This van der Waals equation and what we will see next even next class, but this is one equation which will affect the eutectic mixture. So here you can see the figure which is associated with the eutectic mixture. Now if you will see this figure, it is like at its y-axis temperature is there, at x-axis composition is there or substance is there. But as I told you, when we are talking about eutectic mixture, it is a combination of two or more than two substances. So here we can consider like A and B, two substances are there that will be in a solid form. First I will tell you these two substances are in solid form, but since it is getting combined with each other, what will happen, that will be lowering its temperature. See here A which is at x axis, इथं जर A तुम्ही दिसत असेल तुम्हाला टेम्परेचरच्या शेजारी A आहे, आणि इथं राईट हँड साइडला B आहे. See, it's having its own temperature. Just consider this temperature scale. A आणि B चा एक टेम्परेचर आहे, but what will happen, since we are combining these two substances, it is converted into some another form, that is solid A and solid B. When mixed with each other, it will be converted into C substance.
and it is because of that lowering the melting point or temperature is getting lowered. So that's why it is shown a graph, it is shown as a lowering in a temperature. So composition is in the sense of what substance which will be combined, it will be resulted into lowering the temperature. This is what they are trying to inform us. So it is very clearly they have shown substance A, substance B, which is at either side of scale, and because of mixing those two substances, downside it is going, that scale is going downside, which is converted into C form, or we can say solid A and solid B mixture, which is as a eutectic mixture. So this graph also need to remember, this is a temperature and composition graph because of mixing these two substances to convert into eutectic mixture. So what are the application of eutectic mixture in pharmaceutical industry? Why we are studying eutectic mixture in pharmaceutical industry? Because during pre-formulation stages, compatibility study is very important. What is this compatibility study? असं समजा मी एक फॉर्म्युलेशन बनवते, एक सिरप बनवते, त्या सिरप मध्ये अल्टिमेटली आता तुम्हाला माहित आहे की सिरप म्हणजे तिथं सुक्रोज सोल्युशन असेल, प्रिझर्वेटिव्ह असतील, काहीतरी ऍक्टिव्ह फार्मा इन्ग्रेडियंट असेल, ड्रग विल बी देअर. What I am doing, I am combining these two things, but at the same time I should check whether it is miscible with each other or not. The substance is either miscible. Now say like a glucose solution, preservative like methyl paraben, propyl paraben I am going to use, and I am adding some active ingredient, whether it is combining, showing some additive effect or some degenerating effect, we should understand first. So that purpose compatibility studies are carried out. That time excipient selection purpose, eutectic mixture will be having its own role, and that time we will understand its consistency. Second one is testing for eutectic mixture formation can help in anticipation of probable physical incompatibility between drug and excipient. Generally eutectic mixture जर प्रत्येक वेळी जर जनरेट होत असतील, so that also will be causing problem. प्रत्येक वेळी जर लिक्विड स्टेज मध्ये जर फॉर्म्युलेशन जात असेल, then that also will be showing problematic or it is not acceptable. So it is known as finally physical incompatibility. जर तुमचं जे ड्रग आहे, तुम्ही एखाद्या सबस्टन्स बरोबर ऍड केलं आणि ते लिक्विड फॉर्म मध्ये कन्वर्ट होत असेल किंवा युटेटिक मिक्सचर मध्ये कन्वर्ट होत असेल, तर समटाइम व्हॉट विल हॅपन दॅट फार्मास्युटिकल इन्ग्रेडियंट जे काय ऍक्टिव्ह इन्ग्रेडियंट आहे, समजा पॅरासिटामॉल, तर त्याची आय मीन एफिकसी जी आहे ती चेंज होऊ शकते. सो दॅट ऑल्सो मे हॅपन. सो दॅट टाइम ऑलवेज इट इज नॉट ऍक्सेप्टेबल. Eutectic mixture are commonly used in drug designing and delivery process for various route of administration. So likewise, eutectic mixture are useful during manufacturing pharmaceutical dosage form. Extremely necessary to anticipate formation of eutectics, avoiding manufacturing problems. Production मध्ये जर तुम्ही बघाल तर त्यांनी काय 5 ग्रॅम 2 ग्रॅम 1 ग्रॅम असं वेट करत नाही, त्यांनी किलो किलोभर सॅकच्या सॅक वेट करतात आणि ते प्रोडक्शन ते बॉयलर असेल किंवा त्यांचं जे काही कंटेनर असेल त्यामध्ये दे विल बी ऍडिंग and they will try to mix it up. But that time we will see this or we will start the study in small scale. Lab scale मध्ये जर मला कळालं की हे इनकम्पॅटिबल आहे किंवा it is forming some adverse substances or it is getting converted into eutectic compound, then I will avoid or I can stop that particular thing during the formulation or actual manufacturing. And during pharmaceutical analysis, understanding of eutectic mixture can help in identification of compound or melting point. म्हणजे आपल्याला एक सबस्टन्स मेल्टिंग पॉइंट लक्षात येतो. जनरली एर्गोटामाइन, ॲलोबार्बिटॉल सबस्टन्सेस किंवा त्याचं मेल्टिंग पॉइंट एस्टिमेट करण्यासाठी eutectic मिक्सचरचा यूज केला जातो. Now what are the eutectic mixtures? For example, I will show you curcumin and nicotinamide. So if you will use curcumin म्हणजे एक ऍक्टिव्ह कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट आहे टर्मरिक मधला, तो एक्स्ट्रॅक्ट केलेला असतो, आणि निकोटिनामाइड इज अ विटॅमिन. So this nicotinamide and curcumin when combined with each other, what will happen? Nicotinamide is a vitamin and it will try to get convert into liquid form. जरी निकोटिनामाइड एक पिवळी पावडर असते, अंडरस्टूड, आणि कुर्कुमिन पण टर्मरिक पासून आहे म्हणल्यावर ते पण पिवळीच असणार. सो बोथ वेन वी आर कंबाइनिंग विथ इच अदर, इट विल फॉर्म अ लिक्विड फॉर्म, it will be converted into liquid phase. So this is what known as a eutectic mixture. Ibuprofen and thymol. Thymol म्हणजे ओवा ओवा जो असतो ओवा मधला एक ऍक्टिव्ह कंटेंट आहे थायमॉल. तर आयबुप्रोफेन अँड थायमॉल वेन कंबाईन विथ इच अदर इट विल ऑल्सो कन्वर्टेड इनटू लिक्विड फॉर्म. सो आयबुप्रोफेन अँड थायमॉल ultimately generating eutectic mixture. Ibuprofen is a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug, and thymol is a compound can be used as an additive. Generally, thymol soap मध्ये किंवा कॉस्मेटिक्स मध्ये यूज केला जातो. Even in your mouthwash and all, thymol they are using. So genistein and polyethylene glycol. So genistein is one active compound, and polyethylene glycol is additive. When combined with each other, it also will generate a specific liquid stage or eutectic mixture. Then borneol, menthol, that also will generate a compound. Menthol generally सगळीकडे तुम्हाला माहित असेल मेंथॉलचे क्रिस्टल्स असतात. मेंथॉल म्हणजे पुदिना मधला अर्क आहे that will be converted into solid form, and because of adding with some another substances like borneol and poloxamer, ibuprofen and all, it will be converted into eutectic mixture, or ultimately decreasing the what we can say melting temperature and forming as a liquid conversion or liquid phase conversion. Then yeah, so now we will talk about the gas. Up till now we were discussing solid and liquid and its interconversion. Now we will see gas. So gases are compressible fluid. Gas आपण compress करू शकतो, त्याला pressure apply करून compress करू शकतो, and it has no definite shape because it is free to move in this environment or in this space. So it is not having a specific shape like solid and liquid. So that is the compressible fluid and not having specific shape, and it is a vigorous and rapid motion. So intermolecular things will be vigorous and rapid in motion. Resultant collision gas molecule travel in a random motion. So it is colliding that the atoms in that particular molecule, it will be collide in with each other, it will be free with each other, and the particular pressure which is maintained throughout in gas will be expressed as a dynes per square centimeter. So dynes per square centimeter is a unit for a particular gas when we are considering the pressure. Yeah, the temperature involved in the gas is given by Kelvin. So degree and Kelvin, these are the two units which we can consider for gas. Now, what are the properties of gas? A sample of gas assumes both shape and volume of container. म्हणजे समजा एखाद्या बीकर मध्ये मी गॅस स्टोअर करून ठेवला तर बीकरचा जो काही शेप असेल तोच तो ऑक्युपाय करेल. हॅव यू अंडरस्टूड? देन गॅसेस आर कॉम्प्रेसिबल. या आय टोल्ड यू प्रेशर इफ यू आर अप्लाइंग then can be compressed. gas LPG gas जो आहे तो compressed form मध्ये आहे gas cylinder मध्ये. So that is what I am saying, it is compressible. Then densities of gases are much smaller than those of liquid and solid and are highly variable depending on temperature and pressure. So density of particular gas will be changing and it will be not constant for particular gas. कुठलाही गॅस असू दे, हायड्रोजन असू दे, ऑक्सिजन असू दे, नायट्रोजन असू दे, or any LPG, it will be its own density will be consistent or it will be constant. Gases form homogeneous mixture with one another in any proportion. So gas, when we are mixing with a solution or with liquids, it will be forming homogeneous solution. तुम्ही बघितलं असेल ते H2S solution किंवा sulfuric acid solution we can convert. So gas H2S gas, when it is released, it will mix in water. H2S solution can be converted. So likewise homogeneous mixture can be formed when it is combined with solution. Now I think you have already studied this concept in +2. I am not going more detail, just you memorize these gas laws, because that may ask you, they may ask you in your multiple choice questions and all. So gas laws, you will see first one is Boyle's law. You see the relation between pressure and volume. So pressure is directly proportional, pressure is inversely proportional to the volume. If you will see Boyle's law, which is related to the gas, it states that the pressure of fixed amount of gas at a constant temperature, which is inversely proportional to the volume. So pressure at this time, when we are talking pressure, temperature constant असेल. So pressure, when we are talking, it will be with consistent or constant temperature. It will be inversely proportional to the volume. म्हणजे काय होतंय, प्रेशर जर वाढवला तर व्हॉल्यूम कमी होईल, प्रेशर वाढवला तर व्हॉल्यूम कमी होईल, आणि जर समजा प्रेशर कमी केलं तर व्हॉल्यूम विल बी इन्क्रीज. सो दिस इज ऍप्लिकेबल फॉर गॅस. Understood. Second one is Charles law. That's why it is inversely proportional. P is inversely proportional to V. Charles law, what it is states that pressure of a fixed amount of a gas at a constant, at a at fixed pressure, the volume of gas is proportional to temperature of gas. So here, what it is known as the specific volume of substances will be directly proportional to the temperature at fixed pressure. So volume, if it is temperature, if we are increasing, volume also will increase. So like that correlation is there based on Charles law. But here when we are talking about temperature, pressure will be constant. So these things is needed to be considered. Then Gay-Lussac's law, what it is saying, it is especially for ideal gas, ideal type of gas. This applies for ideal gases held at a constant volume, which allow pressure and temperature. So pressure is directly proportional to temperature. That's why P1 is equal to T1. P1 by T1 is equal to P2 by T2. So pressure is directly proportional to temperature. That is what Gay-Lussac is saying. And accordingly, they have said P1 by T1 is equal to P2 by T2. So this is a Gay-Lussac law, which is showing the conversion between pressure and temperature, or it is a relation between pressure and temperature. One Avogadro's law, one more law is there, which is saying that volume of particular sample gas is directly proportional to number of moles. म्हणजे असं समजा की त्यामध्ये किती मोल्स आहेत, अकॉर्डिंगली त्याचा व्हॉल्यूम असेल, अकॉर्डिंगली दॅट व्हॉल्यूम विल बी ऑक्युपाइड. सो व्ही इज डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल टू एन. म्हणजे काय, the number of moles or number of molecules which is present for a specific gas, accordingly it will its volume will be changed. So that is what the Avogadro's law. Ultimately V is directly proportional to N. V1 N1 is equal to V2 N2. So just remember the interrelation. Boyle's law, P is inversely proportional to V. Charles law, V is directly proportional to temperature. Gay-Lussac's law, P is directly proportional to T. Avogadro's law, which is V directly proportional to N, small n, or number of moles. One is kinetic molecular theory of gas. So these things you people are already knowing. Just I remember you, what is the kinetic theory of a particular gas, or kinetic molecular theory of gas? Volume occupied by individual particle of gas is negligible as compared to volume of gas itself. So these things we know, which we studied in +2. Particles of an ideal gas. Terminology is applicable for ideal gas. Particles of an ideal gas exert no attractive force on each other or on their surrounding. But ultimately it will not be there in existence. Ideal gas will not be there. काहीतरी असेल, असं म्हणू शकत नाही की व्हॉल्यूम ऑक्युपाइड बाय इंडिव्हिज्युअल पार्टिकल ऑफ गॅस निग्लिजिबल टू व्हॉल्यूम ऑफ गॅस इटसेल्फ. कॅन वी से लाईक दॅट? इट विल नॉट बी देअर. काहीतरी व्हॉल्यूम, त्याचं पण काहीतरी वेट असेल. हाऊ वी कॅन से इट इज अ निग्लिजिबल? लाईक गॅस निग्लिजिबल नसतो, काहीतरी त्याचं वेट असणारच आहे. सो इट इज अ कन्सेप्ट रिलेटेड टू आयडियल गॅस. जेव्हा जेव्हा आयडियल टर्मिनॉलॉजी, व्हेनेवर वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट आयडियल टर्मिनॉलॉजी, ते कधी जगात नसतंच असं समजून चालायचं. सो इट इज नॉट अ रियल गॅस, इट इज अ आयडियल गॅस. दे आर सेइंग particles of an ideal gas exert no attractive force. It is like that. It won't be like that. There will be ultimately some attraction and repulsion will be there. So that also will not be possible. But these are the theories that they have established in case of ideal gas. That's why we are learning. Gas particles are in a constant state of random motion and move straight lines until they collide with another. असं असतं का त्याच्यामधले मॉलिक्युल्स स्ट्रेटच जायला पाहिजे असं काय नाही आहे, बरोबर आहे? It's not like that. It move in any direction. It is free to move anywhere. So the atoms which are present in a gas molecule, they are free to move anywhere. So likewise we can say it's not like a real gas concept. It is ideal gas. That's why they are saying until and unless they will collide, they will move in a straight line. असं कधी नसतं. So they are saying one ideal theory. The collision exhibited by gas particles are completely elastic. When two molecules collide, total kinetic energy is conserved. It's not like that. Total kinetic energy will never be conserved. It will be changed. The kinetic energy कुठलाही मॉलिक्यूल जेव्हा कोलाइड होतो ते त्याची एनर्जी त्याच्याकडे राहते का? समजा one molecule or one atom will collide with another one, it will either it will change energy, it will give to that molecule, and it may take from other molecule. So it will be never conserved, it will be dispersed, or rather kinetic energy will be dispersed throughout. And average kinetic energy of gas molecule is directly proportional to absolute temperature only. This implies a molecular motion ceases if temperature is reduced to absolute zero, and that also will not be possible because though gas are in kinetic motion, or it will be having its own energy, but it will be if we are saying it is directly proportional to absolute temperature, it's not like that. Changing a temperature also will affect the actual kineticity of the gas. So it is a real it is not a real gas theory, rather it is an ideal gas theory. Just to glance it, because they may not ask you directly in questions and all, but you should be aware if they will ask you the differentiation between the actual ideal gas and the real gas and all. Then liquefaction of gases. So liquefaction of gas, when we are talking here, pressure, when pressure on gas is increased, its molecule getting close to each other. जर gas वरचा मी pressure जर वाढवला, एलपीजी मध्ये काय असतंय, एलपीजी गॅस मध्ये इनिशियली त्या सिलेंडर मध्ये लिक्विड कंडिशन मध्येच आहे गॅस, बिकॉज प्रेशराइज्ड कंडिशन मध्ये त्याला फील केलेलं असतं त्या सिलेंडर मध्ये. सो इट विल बी कन्वर्टेड इन टू लिक्विड फॉर्म. बट वेन वी आर रिलीजिंग द प्रेशर, जर तुम्ही ते वरचं नॉब जर प्रेस केला तर काय होईल, ते लिक्विड गॅस विल बी कन्वर्टेड इन टू गॅस. So when pressure on gas is increased, its molecules closer together and the temperature is reduced, which removes enough energy to make it change from gaseous to liquid. So it is interconvertible process. It can be converted into vapor, I mean gas to liquid stage. Here you can see this is a Joule-Thomson effect. When compressed gas is allowed to expand in a region of low pressure, it gets cooled, and this is the Linden's method of liquefaction of gas. So just for your understanding purpose, I showed you this. It's not expected in your exam point of view. Just how the liquefaction process is going on. That's in the discuss the actual pharmaceutical application of gas. Whatever we studied gas, the different phases of gas, the vapor pressure condition, latent heat condition, the different laws associated like Boyle's law, Charles law, Avogadro's number, and all that, all things we are applying actually in formulations now. Aerosols are compressed very pressurized gas condition which is filled in a specific container. So aerosol, I think aerosol, salbutamol aerosol and all you are knowing, inhalers. So that is what the specific type of pharmaceutical inhalers. These are the suspension of fine solid particles or liquid droplets in air or another gas. So it is a compressed condition. It is in compressed condition. Aerosol can be a natural or anthropogenic. Example of natural aerosols are fog म्हणजे जे काय तुम्हाला थंडीच्या दिवसात फॉग दिसून येईल तुम्हाला. So that is one kind of aerosol, or in this what will be there, very fine solid particles will be established or the liquid droplets will be there. किंवा दव ज्याला म्हणतो आपण मराठीमध्ये, that is like fog. इवन सकाळच्या वेळी जर तुम्ही झाडाच्या पानावर वगैरे जर बघितलं तर तिथं दव असतो. And that is why I'm saying this example, because that only will be compressed form in aerosol, and due to high pressure it will be converted into gas upon releasing that high pressure. So inhaler is a device holding a medicine that you take by breathing, and inhalers are often used to treat chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. That's what salbutamol inhaler and all they are saying. There are three types: metered dose, dry powder, and nebulizers. So according to its use in pharmaceutical, they have changed its appearance also. Metered dose, dry powder inhalers, nebulizers, and all according to its use. So these different bodies present, all that also a type of aerosols only. Gases can be liquefied under high pressure in a closed chamber. That's what I am saying, that gas under a high pressure it is a liquefied, and once that pressure we are releasing, आपण वरचं ते जे नॉब प्रेस केलं तर काय होईल, तर प्रेशर रिलीज करतोय आपण, and because of releasing pressure gas, it will be converted into gas. Liquid will be coming out with a high with a high tendency from container, so that's why it is as a gas. So here they have given this your favorite Axe body spray and all, example of aerosols. Now we will talk about relative humidity. So relative humidity means what? Humidity, you know, जर आपण we will see the humidity at coastal region, sea shore मध्ये जर तुम्ही गेला तर तुम्हाला खूप तिथे उकडते, otherwise you will feel so much sweating there. Actually तिथे टेम्परेचर जास्त नसते, आपल्या इथलंच टेम्परेचर, that also same temperature will be there in coastal region also. If you will go say like coastal area of Maharashtra, Ratnagiri, Sindhudurg, even गोवा मध्ये जर तुम्ही गेलं तर नॉर्मल टेम्परेचर जरी असलं 25-30 तरी तुम्हाला तिथे स्वेटिंग होते. Why? Because of humidity. What this humidity will do? Because of that humidity, there is a change in temperature will occur, and that will affect the actual formulation also. During formulation, relative humidity is always considered if it is there in the surrounding environment. So relative humidity is a ratio expressed in percentage, the amount of atmospheric moisture present relative to the amount that would be present if the air were saturated. म्हणजे जर समजा एअर सॅच्युरेटेड आहे मॉइश्चर मध्ये आणि ऍटमॉस्फिअर मॉइश्चर हा कंपेअर केल्यानंतर जे काही रेशिओ असेल, that is known as relative humidity. तर atmospheric moisture will be always high. Moisture content air मधलं कधी पण high असेल, and because of that only it is related to the actual humidity or relative humidity. Now you can see here, if you will see, if you are able to see in first condition 10 degrees centigrade, water vapor or 100% relative humidity. Now you can see the condition. If you will see the relative humidity 53%, if relative humidity, temperature is a bit increased, so it's like a 20 degree, and say like a 28% relative humidity is there, so what will happen, again temperature is increased, so water vapor will be converted, and 30 degrees centigrade temperature is increased. So since the latter amount is dependent on a temperature, relative humidity is a function of both moisture content and temperature. So anytime the relative humidity also considered during the actual formulation, and that's why we are studying this relative humidity. Relative humidity is derived from the associated temperature and dew point of indicated hour. So always you should remember that if temperature only is the condition, it will not matter, but the surrounding environment or surrounding air moisture content, that also will matter during the formulation process, or even the stability process of a particular stability condition of particular formulation. नुसता फॉर्म्युलेशन केलं and पर्टिक्युलर कंडिशन मध्ये ठेवलं तर तसं होत नाही. Stability when we are discussing, or its actual storage period when we are discussing, at that time stability ultimately will be dependent on humidity किंवा त्याचं स्टोरेज कंडिशन जे काय असेल ते humidity, relative humidity वर depend. That's why they are saying keep it in free condition, don't keep it in surrounding in atmospheric condition. So that is what the relative humidity. It is nothing but the ratio expressed in percentage. कधी पण humidity 20%, 50%, 10%, likewise only they will tell of the amount atmospheric moisture present relative to amount that would be present if the air were saturated. Now we will see the liquid complexes. So liquid to liquid complexes, in the sense how it will be converted into like form or complex type of fluids. So maybe it is a solid combination, solid gas combination, liquid combination, liquid gas combination, and it will be forming as a liquid type of complex. Now what these liquid complexes are? Complex fluids are binary mixtures. Basically these are binary mixtures that have coexisted between two phases, like solid liquid solid liquid like suspension or solution of macromolecule, solid gas like granular, liquid gas foam, and liquid that is emulsion that exhibits unusual mechanical response from fluid stress or strain due to geometrical constraints. So it depends on a content of specific substances. They have given example of a shaving cream because shaving cream is a very complex fluid. यामध्ये असे काही ingredient आहेत जे त्या फॉर्म्युलेशनला से शेविंग क्रीम इज अ फॉर्म्युलेशन नाव त्या शेविंग क्रीमला इंटॅक्ट ठेवतात दॅट विल बी कॉम्पोजिशन ऑफ युटेटिक मिक्सचर also that is composition of some semi solid material also that will be composition of some the substances which will be directly converted into gaseous form like camphor and all that also will be combined, so it is like a complex type of fluid, that's why they are saying a liquid complex. Example is shaving cream, it is a complex type of fluid and it does not it is used for a specific purpose like shaving and it form appearance to be a solid जसं त्याचं फोम आहे तो सॉलिड कन्वर्शन असतो and it does not flow and can support on light loads, so it's a behavior, the actual behavior of that cream they have shown on the level of individual bubble the flow is due to rearrangement of small collection of bubbles. So here what will happen, there will be number of bubbles will be present in the shaving cream and it will try to maintain its stable or it will remain as a staple on a specific support in the sense skin. Have you understood? On this scale the flow is not smooth but instead consists of fluctuation due to rearrangement of bubble and release of stress. So shaving cream they have given example as a liquid complex. In this only one thing you remember, in the shaving cream will be composed of different contents that may be solid, gas, liquid, gas, liquid and totally it will be forming as a kind of complex or a complex fluid that will remain stable on a specific solid support. Solid support म्हणजे काय, स्किन वर ते इंटॅक्ट, ते काय शेविंग क्रीम अप्लाय केल्यावर खाली पडते का, इट विल नॉट फॉल डाउन, इट विल रिमेन इंटॅक्ट and when we will make foam it will it will be stable and it will easy us, it will make us easy to take out the hairs, so skin hairs can be easily removed by shaving cream and that is the example they have given as a liquid complex. So specifically whatever we studied as a physical parts now we are converted those things into formulations, so that's why I am giving you example of shaving cream. This is the form of liquid complex. So friends, we will stop here, tomorrow we will go for liquid crystals and some related aspects. Now hereafter please don't miss classes and all because now we have studied some things and now we are applying those concepts into formulations. So again when we are talking now we understand, yeah, so this is the vapor pressure, this is the latent heat, this is the sublimation. Now those concepts are going to, we are going to apply it to formulations. Okay, so please don't miss another 2 class and I will be very I'll not go more details and all, but you, if you people are asking any doubt and all, I will take those things in detail because some concept like Boyle's law, Charles law, some laws and all, you people are already studied. It's making a bit bore for again and again studying. Rather, we will try to concentrate on specific terminologies and its application into the pharmaceutical part. Okay, even though you people are having doubt, as I told you, you can ask me by calling also and you can send me message on WhatsApp and you can approach me in this manner. So friends, we will stop here. Just I will note down your people attendance. Okay, so hope you people have understood today's concept what we learn, and even still we need to go some. And one more thing, after this one class will be happening, very important class will happen. I will tell you about some fine terminologies like dielectric constant, refractive index, and how we are measuring those things. And it is very important for your practical aspects also, because I don't know you people are able to do practical and all or not. But if you are not able to do the practical, or it is not permitted for you, if it is permitted and you are able to perform the practical, very fine, I will be very happy. But if in case you are not able to permit, you are not able to do, or you are not permitted, means at least you people learn those concepts. So probably day after tomorrow I will start those things, and again I am saying those concepts I will ask you in examination, and that will be very 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 important, because formulation part of you, those are very keen type of things, and should be considered lifelong if you are remaining in this pharmaceutical field. Okay, so we will stop here, and we will discuss remaining parts in next class. Thank you.